Hi guys, I'm the Bush WW2 Man, and today I got a video for you on my 1944 D-Day impression. So, first off, to start off with, I am portraying. Sorry, I've got a script here just so I remember everything I'm going to say because my memory is rubbish. So first off, I am part of the 4th Wiltshire Regiment, the 4th Battalion of the Wiltshire Regiment, which is part of the 43rd Wessex Division. So you can see here, these are my shoulder flashes. So at the top here you can see the regiment name, which is Wiltshire's, and then there's different ones for Hampshire, for example. If that'll be different with all regiments, so it would say there's one for the Hampshire Regiment. This is an original one. This is a reproduction one. Underneath it, there's my divisional patch, which is donating what division. So this is the 43rd Wessex Division. This is a post-war patch. But it's the same, just different material, so it's kind of standing in until I get proper woolen ones. Now that donates infantry, the red line. And then the Marine square donates the 4th Battalion Wiltshire Regiment. So yeah, and then my rank, which is corporal. And then you have the same on both arms. So yeah, so it was formed in 1939. The 4th Wiltshires was, and it was formed from a TA battalion. So yeah, and it kind of spent the majority of the war up until 1944 training and doing guard duty and stuff like that. Whereas there was one of the other battalions, the 5th Battalion, that was in France in 1940, got pulled out, and then I think it was sent to the Middle East or Africa. And so yeah, anyway, back to the 4th Wilts. They fought in Normandy and in Operation Epsom and Operation Jupiter, and it suffered really heavy casualties. Well, the whole of the 43rd Wessex did. So yep, and they fought all the way through, fought mainly around Caen in Normandy, and Operation Market Garden as well, and then it was finally saw fighting through Germany. So yep, I'm going to first start off with, in my impression, our weapons. So the main weapon of the British infantrymen of the majority of the Second World War was this, the Lee Enfield No. 4 Mark I. So yeah, now this it was designed in 1939 to 40, mainly in 1940 though, and it went into production in, it was about November 1940, late 1940 anyway. So when it was first made, rather, it was made in the ROFs, or the War Ordnance factories, mainly. And so the first factory to produce this, I believe, was called RFF Wooopeee, so War Ordnance Factory Wooopeee. ROF, then the second was ROF Fazal Keoli, I'm probably butchering that. Number 3 was BSA Birmingham Small Arms Shirley. So yep, and they put prefixes on the weapons, so it would have a number 1, and then it would have the serial number made. So this one has a serial number of 1046. I'll try to show you this. So 1046, that means it's the 460th Lee Enfield No. 4 Mark I ever to be made. So that would give it a 1940 date. As the date, as you probably saw there, is badly worn off, because how you'd hold it is, you would hold it like this. Hard to show you, but basically the thumb is resting there, and so through people grabbing it or whatever, the thumb has just worn away the date. So yeah, now I think this one I've managed to find some markings on it which are quite interesting, and it makes me think that it was captured by the Germans, and then that would mean that it was converted to being known as a Gewehr 283E, which is basically what happened was when the Germans captured any Leenfields, they would number them. They would classify them rather as Gewehr 283. So therefore, that means I think I've managed to find some proof marks on this, the German proof marks, Waffenamps. So this, I think, could be one of those. So anyway, it has it's bolt action, and it has had the sights replaced, because the original sights that were for this were had like a little wheel, and you turn it and that would make the sights go up and down. So sorry, I'm just trying to best view here. So yep, now this is, I believe this was introduced, this type of sight, in 1943, and I'm not sure. It's more common on the Leenfield No. 4 Mark IIs, but you could see a couple in this if it was recaptured, for example. So, or like reworked. So, yeah, it has a 10-round box magazine, which is detachable, like so. So, and the way how you detach it is here. How well you can see this. Here's a button. Press that, and that allows you to take the magazine out. So don't worry about this. This is a deactivated one, so it cannot fire. So yeah, it's got safety on the side here, and so safe. Trigger doesn't work, bolt doesn't work. Bolt does work. Safety on again. Can't fire. Bolt won't work. Safety off. Can't fire. So yeah, it's got a sling here. I don't believe this is wartime, so I've not managed to find a date on it, but it's being partially blancoed white for military police. And it's kind of worn off, and it's starting to go back to its original colour it was. So yeah, it's got bayonets. I'll show you the bayonets next. So there are really two main types of bayonets that were produced for the Leenfield No. 4. So here's the first type, no, wrong type. This is the first type. It was an all-metal scabbard, and so it was like this. You had a round dot there. This is an original one, I believe. It's lost some of its bluing, just due to me using it by accident. So yeah. Now, so it's basically just a glorified screwdriver, just fixed onto a muzzle mount. A screwdriver that's just been sharpened and fixed onto a muzzle mount, really. That's all it is. So yeah, this has got Leenfield, well, it's got No. 4 Mark II there, so this is a post-war bayonet, I think. It says Leenfield No. 4 Mark II there. So this is probably a post-war bayonet, been put with a wartime scabbard. So yeah, this would be useful for mainly early war, also useful for late war D-Day, but not that common really. This is the Bakelite one. I do believe actually that they went back to using these later on in the war. This is the Bakelite one. So this is quite interesting because it's number 337 produced, which is quite a low ceiling, which is very interesting. It's got a wiggle. Broad arrow there, and the broad arrow is the army arrow. Well, the arrow that signifies something to do with the British military armed forces. So, yeah, main difference is it's just made out of bakelite rather than made out of metal. And I believe the reason why they went back from bakelite to metal was because shortage of metal weapons. That was the reason why they went to this, and they went from this back to the metal because they wanted the plastic, oil, whatever they were using for fuel. So this one does work, whereas this one doesn't. It's all rusted up. I've tried my best to try and get this to work, but it doesn't. So anyway, this one does work. Now you press down here, and it should go down. Mine does. And so it fits onto the rifle like this. But it went off bang and there's no doubt one way in clip into place. So therefore, there's the right. There's the Enfield number 4 Mark 1 with the so this wasn't that commonly used. I've been used in close combat sometimes, but yeah, it would have mainly been used to if you were trying to clear mines. However, they wouldn't really use it because they had designed something else for probing for mines, which also encompasses the bayonet. So I'll move on to that next. Let's take the bayonet off. So standard British entrenching tool stick looks like this. Now what it was designed to rather cleverly, it had an adapter for this, basically like the end of a Lee Enfield number 4 barrel, just without there being a hole. That being an actual barrel. So yeah, it's on like that, and then you'd use that to probe for mines. So yeah, I'll get on to this in more detail and depth later on. They also, I've heard that they used to stick sausages on this bayonet, on the bayonet, and just roast them over the fire. That's where it got the nickname Pig Sticker from. So yeah. So I'll just show you putting some dummy rounds into my Lee Enfield number 4. So you can take, like I said before, take 10 rounds. So here I have 2 charge clips of 10 rounds, 5 rounds each. So set it off. Quite stiff because I haven't held it. Clip off, put it away. Second clip in, and then you can just do this. Which knocks the clip away. I haven't changed it because it's deactivated. And it's got a pin here, which doesn't allow the round to be chambered. So yeah, I'll deload this later, or load this later rather. So